Hey guys, what's going on? This is the Crypto Jarhead coming at you with yet another hypothetical situation. This is actually not a hypothetical situation. I'm actually really excited about this. Had another viewer ask me, what I would do if I had 1,175 Thorn. He did add a little caveat to that he just started a brand new short-term stake today, which is a good thing. You did good. You did right. As of right now, really, short-term staking is about the only thing you can do with your Thorn, unless you don't think it is ever going to be higher than $8 in price, which everything that I have seen points to that not being the case. But I could be wrong. Who knows? So let's go ahead and get to it. Anyway, I'm really excited about that because this is kind of what I wanted from the channel here, was getting viewers, throwing me either hypothetical situations or, hey, I have X amount of this token, what are some things I can do with it? Because that's what I like to do. I like running numbers. I'm a huge nerd. If Bitcoin really is a bubble and lending platforms and ICOs are completely dead, I'll probably go ahead and get a CPA license and start doing that just because I like numbers. I love running numbers. It's weird. I know I'm a nerd for it, but hey, you know what? That's what I like to do. So, whatever, man. I mean, I could be doing cocaine, but I'm not. Anyway, let's get to it, guys. So, started short-term stake today with 1,175 Thorns. That will be 1,207.9 when released, which will be 1 week from today, 23 February. By then, Thorn is supposed to be $15. The supposed price increase is going to happen to $15 when they open their internal exchange, which is supposed to happen on the 18th of February. It was originally scheduled for yesterday. I think yesterday, right? It's the 16th today? Damn. Man, I tell you, I have been busy. Anyway, it was originally scheduled for the 15th. Obviously, the internal exchange did not launch. Now the website is saying the 18th. So, but they have said that when they launch the internal exchange, they're going to increase the price to $15. So by then it should be $15. And your 1,207 Thorn will be worth 18 grand. Now, here's where I'm going to get a little crazy, okay? This is exactly what I'm planning to do with my Thorn, by the way. Obviously, I have a little bit different number than you do, but this is exactly what I'm planning to do because I'm a little bit crazy. And if you're like, man, I don't want to do any of that crap, I have a couple of backup plans afterwards. But so the external exchange, the target date for Thorn hitting like Coin Exchange and all that is March 3rd. And they're going to start the price at $1 and let the market decide what the value is on the external exchanges, right? With that, the key to a high Thorn price is a high volume, lots of people buying and selling. It will drive the price up. When you don't have volume happening, price tends to go down. There's a lot more to it on whether something's going to go up or down. But that is like a super simplified, extra basic, in general, more volume means a price increase. Less volume means a price decrease. So I think there's going to be a shit ton of volume on Thorn. People are excited about it. Videos are popping up everywhere. The hype train's been going for, 3-4 weeks now? People are excited. They're almost rabid for Thorn. So with that being said, there are always going to be people who are just looking to sell their Thorn or any ICO coin on day one and just get out. They're just in it for ICO hits. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Enough of these ICOs don't ever make it that, I can completely understand people wanting to just take their win on day one, and go celebrate. But here's the thing. We can take advantage of that. Thorn is supposed to be buying back their own coin on the internal exchange, right? So it's not just going to be selling to other people, that probably already have Thorn, and so if the price of Thorn is $15 on their internal exchange and you're selling to other people, you're selling to people that believe Thorn is going to hit $200 or $300, which it very well could, However, you're not just selling it to other investors. Thorn Coin itself is buying their own coin back. So, that is also going to make the coin more valuable because, there will be less. Eventually they're going to start burning Thorn Coin so that the total supply, which is only, what was it, like 9 million? It was less than 10 million Thorn to begin with. When they start doing their burn plans, when they're burning Thorn Coin, that number is just going to go down and down, and basic supply and demand dictates that the price is going to go up. So anyway, that's a little bit of backstory on the first plan that I have for you. So what I'm planning, what I would do, because this is exactly what I am going to do. Anyway, where the hell was I? Oh, I was all the way up here. Okay. So external exchange date target, the 3rd of March. Then that's enough time for one more round of staking if you want. Or like what I would recommend, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop staking after this current round, which I also did another round of short-term staking today. So I'm not going to do a 3rd round, right? No, I won't do a 4th round because I've already done 3. I will not be doing another round of short-term staking after the 23rd. What I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for that $30 price increase, at which point the internal exchange should be open, and I'm going to try to sell all of my Thorn. All of it. Anyway, if you do that, you'll have a minimum of $36,237 in Bitcoin. So what you can do, send that Bitcoin to coinexchange.io, or if you want to go ahead and pull out your initial investment times 2 or 3 at this point, go for it. Do it. That way you're safe, you're completely out, and everything from this point forward is just profit. Pure money, plain and simple. But if you just want to use the full amount, you're going to want to send that to Coin Exchange or one of the other 2 ICO or exchanges. And shit, for the life of me, I can't remember the other 2 because I'm going with Coin Exchange. I signed up for it. Whatever. It seems to be pretty legit, actually. And one of the viewers on a couple of videos ago went ahead and put out the exchanges that they're on. I went ahead and pinned that comment, and it's been a long day. I'm completely blanking on his name and which video this was on. But the information's out there, guys, on which exchanges Thorn will be on. So send it to one of them. Doesn't matter which one. I'm using Coin Exchange, so I put Coin Exchange in here. Do that before March 3rd. So as soon as you've sold your Thorn and you've got the Bitcoin, get it off their website. Send it to Coin Exchange. If you want to send some to your personal wallet, like if you want to send, whatever, $6,000, 6237, so you've got an even $30,000 in Bitcoin, go for it, whatever. The point is you want to have your Bitcoin in Coin Exchange no later than March 2nd. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be buying Thorn again at the ICO price. Thorn's going to open up at $1, and they're going to let the market decide. So we can take advantage of this, right? And if you didn't get into Thorn before, if you don't have any Thorn today, right now you have 0 Thorn, but you're, really wanting to make money, I did do a video on this. Same principle here. Send your Bitcoin to one of the exchanges, get ready. Now, for example purposes for this, I'm going to assume that you woke up a couple hours after Thorn opened and people have already been buying and selling like crazy. And the price is already $2. Obviously, you want to get as low of a price as possible. I would highly recommend fulfilling the current sell bid, right? So if there's a sell order open, someone's looking to sell at $1.25, just do that. Don't try and open up a buy order for $1.20 and try and save a few nickels or whatever. Just whatever the current thing is, or maybe even just go up like, 2 or 3 cents. So if it's at $1.25 right now when you're looking at it, put in one for, $1.30, whatever. As just max it, right? So anyway, I'm just assuming that you got it for $2. Could be more, could be less. As long as it's less than whatever you sold it for on the exchange, you will have more Thorn than you did before, and you'll have way more Thorn than you would have had by short-term staking. So if you got it for $2, you're going to have 18,118 Thorn. Once you have your Thorn again, once you have more Thorn, send it back to Thorncoin, the thorncoin.com. Okay, send it back to your wallet. Now you can attempt, they might keep their internal exchange price at the same level that it was before it went to the external exchange, or they might just have a mirror price. So whatever it's going for, average out on the 3 exchanges at that moment, that's what their internal price is. And if that is the case, then a second round of doing this will be impossible. If you try, you're going to lose. You're going to end up with less Thorn than you did after the. You're going to end up with less Thorn. But if the internal price, if you can still sell this crap for $30, and it's still on the internal website, and it's still selling for whatever $10 or less on Coin Exchange, you can attempt to sell your Thorn coins again. Send your Bitcoin immediately over and buy as much more as you can. But that's extremely risky. This is all risky. But, I would recommend just do it the one time. Sell your Thorn before it hits the external exchange. Have your Bitcoin ready. Buy more Thorn as soon as possible. I'm setting an alarm. I'm not sure what time of day it's supposed to hit, which is probably something I should find out. But I'm going to set an alarm. Fuck it. I'm going to set an alarm and sit and wait and wait and wait and refresh the page until Thorn pops up, and then boom. I'm going to try and get as low as possible, as many Thorns as possible. So, moving on. You've got your Thorn, your new amount of Thorn, hopefully at least 18,000. It's on thorncoin.com. You're ready to start doing something with your Thorn. Here's a couple possibilities. They might keep their lending price stagnant, right? So they might be lending at $30 and the exchange is still, $10 or $5 or whatever it is. If that is the case and they're still lending at 30 or 50 or whatever it was, I would immediately long-term stake 10,000 Thorns, right? So if it's at $30, you're looking at a $300,000 loan. That's going to generate you $5,500 a day, give or take, about 3 percentage points or 0.3 percentage points. Just going off of, I went off the 1.85, which is what they have in their white papers. Realistically, they've been hitting about an average of 1.2%. So plus your bonus interest would be about 1.5%. A day is probably what you're really looking at. In which case, that's right around $4,700 a day. Either way, that's pretty good daily income, right? So long-term stake, 10,000 to start getting a really nice daily income, right? And then I would wait for the sell price to hit $30. At that point, I would go ahead and sell 1,000 Thorn to put 30 grand in your pocket. Now, keep in mind, this could take a little while, and you're going to be withdrawing interest daily. So you're trying to get your initial investment back times, whatever you want to make, times 5, times 10. That's going to be coming out of your interest. Or you took it out up front when you initially sold your Thorn right here, right, to get you that $36,000. If you did that, you know, you can still sell the 1,000 Thorn for an extra 30K because that's always nice to have, right? But if you already have your initial investment back times 5 or times 10, whichever, you know, whatever your personal goal is, you could hold on to it and just throw that extra 1,000 into the loan at the end there, if you want. But what I would do if I was making $5,000 a day and I still had 7,000 Thorn, right? I would wait for this shit to hit the moon. Okay, I'd wait for it to hit $100, right? Once it hit $100, you're looking at a long-term stake of $711,000, right? Almost $712,000, right? That's going to generate you an extra $13,000 a day for a total of $18,000 per day, right? So you're going to have about $1 million in a loan, generating, you know, averaged around 1.5% a day. That's ridiculous, dude. That is insane. You know, that's a lot of money. That's great, right? Moving on, if Thorn is just going to land at whatever the current sales price is, I would short-term stake every last one of your Thorns until it hits $30, right? So what that's going to do for you is going to get you an extra 500 Thorn per week, right? Now, obviously, the week after that, you're going to get, you know, whatever that, you know, it's going to compound, right? But you're going to start with making an extra 500 Thorn a week, and it's going to go up from there, you know, and just when it hits 30, long-term stake, 10,000, sell 1,000, you know, continue on. Once it hits 100, you know, short-term stake the rest until it hits $100 and just throw the rest of it into a loan. Or, you know, whatever, dude. Sell half, loan the other half. You know, that's going to be a hell of a payday up front if you just sell half. And if it takes 4 or 5 months for it to hit, this is very important. If it takes more than 4 months to hit $100, if I were you, I would sell probably about 5,000 of these Thorns, you know, and just take that $500,000 payday, because at that point, you're looking at, you know, probably about a 6-month average for these platforms that do last before they go tits up. And so at that point, it's a really big gamble on whether or not it would last long enough for you to get more money out of staking than just selling up front. So I did forget to throw that in here. If it takes more than 4 months to hit $100 price point, I would sell the majority of the Thorn that you have and maybe throw a couple thousand more into another loan to just increase your daily interest. But it's up to you at this point. You know, at that point, you should have already withdrawn way more money than you threw into this initially. You know, so it is all profit no matter what you do. It's just how much profit. Now, if you don't want to do any of this crazy selling your Thorn and then buying more on the external exchange, there are a couple different options. I would short-term stake until the price hits $75. Now, that's because I firmly believe that it's going to hit $75 quickly. I think it's going to hit $75 within a month of it hitting the external exchange. So I think by April, it'll be $75 or more, just because of how much demand there is on the internet. There's YouTube videos popping up everywhere. People are they're hungry for Thorn. They love it, right? So I think it's going to go really high. I wouldn't be surprised if it hits $300. However, I'm never ever going to plan for 300. anywhere in my plans will it ever be $300. I mean, hell, I might hold 100 Thorn and just see if it hits $300, and when it does, I'll sell. just for shits and giggles. But I don't think it's ever going to happen. However, I think that a realistic place for Thorn to end up would be between $100 and $200. So the $150 price point will show up in a few of my plans from time to time. So if you don't want to do the external exchange thing, I would short-term stake until the price hits $75, and then I would just loan the long-term stake, all of it. You're looking at minimum $80,000 loan, and that's if it hits $75 the first week, and you only get one round of short-term staking. If it takes the full month, you're gonna have more Thorn. You'd have about 1,300 Thorn, maybe a little bit less. So obviously it would go up the amount of your loan. But here's the important thing. You're going to withdraw 100% of that until you've put $5,000 back in your pocket. Because I'm assuming with 1,100 Thorn now, you're in it for $1,000 or less initially invested. So this is 5 times your initial investment, or more. Hell, if you got lucky and got in at the 50-cent price point, then shoot, man, you're in for $500. And if you pull out $5,000, you just 10x on your money. Not a bad day at all. Anyway, once you've withdrawn $5,000 in your pocket, which by that I'm talking about your wallet, your Exodus, your Konami, your Trezor, whatever wallet you're using, put $5,000 of Bitcoin in there. Once you've hit that $5,000, you're going to switch it up. You're going to start withdrawing 75% of your interest every day instead of all of it, and then you're going to reinvest 25% of it. So you're still pulling money out every day, but now you're going to start growing your loan. And I haven't run the numbers personally, but Crypto Profit did a video on this, and it looked like right around the month-and-a-half mark is about where you will start withdrawing more interest every day while still only pulling out 3/4 of what you made that day than you would have just straight 100%. It'll grow and grow and grow, bigger and bigger and bigger. And you're still holding to that 75% withdraw every day, keep reinvesting 25%. But you will be withdrawing a lot more. You'll put more money in your pocket doing this than you would just withdrawing everything every day all the time. And as an added little bonus, it helps sustain the platform. If 80% of their users are doing this, it's going to sustain the platform a lot longer than it would than if everyone was just pulling all their money out every day, which means it'll last longer. You might actually have a chance to get your capital release back. Or just say if Thorn was going to last 5 months without them, without this mindset in the majority of their investors, but people doing this made them last an additional month. Well, hell, that's an additional month that you have of pulling money out every day. That's extra money in your pocket. That's if you had an $80,000 loan, that's whatever it would be at that point, $55,000, $60,000 a month that you're pulling out, after reinvesting. That's nice, right? An alternative plan, if you don't want to do the external exchange thing, short-term stake until the price hits $50. Then you're gonna loan out half of your Thorn, right? So you've got a minimum 600 Thorn that you're putting into the long-term stake because that's what you have right now. Keep in mind it'll be more because of the short-term staking, but it's going to be at least a $30,000 loan. A $30,000 loan is about $500 a day. Obviously interest rates will vary, so it's not going to be exactly $550 every day. Some days you may make $400, some days you may make $700. It's just the way it goes. And And you're going to follow that same withdrawal plan as above. You know, wait till you've got $5,000 or five times your investment. I would do 5 times your investment with 600 Thorn at $50, and then start doing the 75-25 thing. And you're going to short-term stake the rest of your Thorn until it hits either $100 or $150 or somewhere in between. You know, so you're kind of going for the moon here. But I do believe that will happen within the first couple months. Could be wrong. Probably am. But, you know, at this point, if you do it at $100, you're going to have an additional $60,000 loan. If you do it at $150, you're going to have $90,000. You know, and those are minimums, by the way, because I don't know how long it's going to take, so I can't math out, you know, how much you're going to have short-term staking. But starting with 600, you're looking at about 15 to 16 Thorn per week. Right, about 16 Thorn per week starting. You know, so if it takes, you know, 7 weeks for it to hit, you can kind of do the math there. You know, you're looking at about an extra 100 Thorn. So you'd have 700 instead of 600. But anyway, regardless, the point of this is you'll either triple or quadruple your daily interest that you're pulling out every day. So at this point, you should have already banked your initial investment times 5, right? Or 5,000 if you just want to stick to 5,000. So follow the 75-25 plan after you've done that second long-term stake. This will grow. This will make it grow even more. I've already talked about that. So there are 3 different options for you here that I can think of for your initial 1,207 Thorn. Whatever you want to do, you've actually got my phone number, so feel free to give me a call, text me, whatever, if you have specific questions, you know, or if you think of something else that you want to do, you know, I'll kind of meander over it, run some numbers real quick and give you, you know, yeah, that sounds good, or, you know, hey, I probably wouldn't do that. So for everyone else, thanks for watching. And honestly, guys, I really like it when I get, you know, like a little private message or something, or a comment, like, hey, I've got, you know, 3,000 Thorn. What would you suggest I do? Keep in mind, I'm not your financial advisor. I'm nobody's financial advisor. If you're taking financial advice off YouTube, you should probably go talk to a shrink, because that's a little crazy. What I do with my money is a little crazy, but I'm a little bit, you know, going to Iraq fundamentally changed my psychology. Okay, so it is what it is, guys. Now, also another thing to keep in mind is most of my plans are going to look fairly similar when you're talking about the same platform. And all the plans that I put out, you know, the math is all there. Even if I don't write out the equations, the math is all there. So, you know, for example, if you've got 5,000, you know, or 3,000 Thorn right now, and you want to follow this initial plan with the external exchanges, you know, just times those numbers by about 2.8, because that's about what the math works out to be. Or just, you know, times it by 3. So instead of 36,000, you'd have, you know, 108,000 in Bitcoin to go buy more Thorn with, right? You know, but I do really like it when you guys give me, you know, you give me ideas for new videos. Like, hey, you know, I've got this amount of this, you know, what would you do with that? You know, I really like that kind of stuff. So if you've got something that you're considering, you know, or if you just want to hear another idea that you could do, let me know, and I would love to make a video about it. I have a lot of fun with this. Anyway, this is a pretty long video so far. Damn, 30 minutes, probably my longest one yet. I'm pretty sure it is. So that's gonna about wrap it up for me. As always, stay hungry, happy hunting, and let's make some money, guys.